We've cleaned this electricity system up. We shut the coal-fired plants. And you know what, Andrea, you want people to believe that we sold Niagara Falls, and we did not.
The NDP was down there watching it happen, not saying a word. I'm the only one that will get rid of the $6 million man.
You're not being truthful.
And get rid of the board and lower your hydro rates by 12%.
Audience, please.
We are in the final stretch of what has been the most contentious election Ontario has seen in probably a couple of generations. The final leaders debate got quite spicy at times. I'm here with political commentator and Post-Media columnist Tom Parkin, who tends to lean a little bit to the NDP side. All right.
How are you?
So I'm good. So big winners, big losers from the debate.
It's a bit of a struggle for each. For win, she needed to have a huge win, and obviously she didn't get that. So she really drops out of the story because it's clearly now a Horwath-Ford issue. Ford really did not address what I think is his fundamental weakness, which is he has no plan. And people are nervous about the cuts idea. So he didn't, I think, offer the reassurance that he really needed to give to wavering PCs, maybe people who are a little older and remember the old style PCs, and they look at Doug Ford and they think, I don't know if I can trust that. Horwath, she did get some good moments in, especially around asking Doug about his plan. But she was bogged down by having, the double attack, and so at times, she had to fight back.
What was the strategy with her consistently and continually interrupting, which I think a lot of people found quite off-putting?
And I believe in collective bargaining. I think the collective bargaining process is a really
important
part of our
democracy. What happened with Bill 115 then, Kathleen? I reversed that, Andrea. You don't respect the collective bargaining process. That's not the evidence. That's not how you've behaved, though.
Plan would annihilate the middle class. Your plan would bankrupt this province. You know it. You're spending
wrong, Mr.
30,
Ford.
40, 50 billion dollars. Where is your money coming from?
Mr. Ford, you talk about being for the people.
Your plan is coming from the middle class.
You talk about being for the people, but your plan is for the rich.
Yeah, I think it's simple. You have somebody you're debating with who is, he's bluffing his way through. I mean, he's telling about a bunch of things that aren't true about $1 billion saved at City Hall. He's saying that he's going to cut $6 billion, but somehow it's not going to affect healthcare or education. None of these things kind of add up. He said last night that Andrea Horwath supported the privatization of Hydro One. I mean, how do you? I think there were a lot of people, Adrian, who were like, you know what? I really have a hard time with the comments that he's making.
You made a $7 billion mistake on your own plan.
You're not being honest, Mr. Ford.
$1.5 billion a year times 5 years.
It's not true, Mr. Ford.
You're right up by $7 billion.
There's a long roster, Tom, of NDP candidates that have giant question marks. Why does she stand behind them?
Well, why does Doug Ford appoint Andrew Lawton, who's a Rebel Media host? And would he be a cabinet minister? Would we next appointed cabinet?
I think that's a hard stretch between that and posting a meme of Hitler.
The NDP, they have radical activists as candidates, absolutely radical activists that get their inspiration from Adolf Hitler.
Nobody, and I think this is exactly the point, Adrian, is that it's this candidate that you're speaking about, she says she never posted it, yet there are people saying she posted it.
Yet it's on her Facebook page and it was shared. So,
listen, I've had my Facebook page hacked. A lot of us have. I think we all know that. So, this person. This person is somebody who has worked all her life on interfaith issues. She was accused in a conservative press release of anti-Semitism, which I think was a very low charge. This is a woman who immediately after this attack, there were people from the Danforth Jewish Circle who she works with that stood up and said, she is a fantastic person, we stand behind her. I think what this shows is that the PCs, unfortunately, will say and do pretty much anything to change the channel from the fact that they have billions of cuts, they have no plan, people do not trust Doug Ford, and they are slipping.
There's no question that progressives in Ontario are looking at Andrea Horwath as their alternative as opposed to the Liberals. But I would suggest to you that Kathleen Wynne, Premier Wynne, I think she stopped some of the bleeding last night. She came to the debate ready for battle. She performed well. Obviously, she has a revisionist history of what her government has and has not done. Yeah. But I want to ask you about the strategy moving forward, particularly Wynne's strategy for the, quote, sorry, not sorry.
Right.
Sorry, not sorry. I'm really genuinely sorry that more people don't like me. But I am not sorry about all of the things that we're doing in Ontario to make life better.
She wants to be noticed. I mean, it's just spell my name right at this point. All those pundit websites like Too Close to Call or the CBC Poll Tracker or all these things are showing her at simply a handful of seats, like 4, 5, 6, 7. So she is becoming, she is not speaking for a very large group anymore, and she's trying to stay in the picture by saying something that will give any oxygen whatsoever to her. The idea, I think, that she's not sorry about the state of her health care. She's not sorry about her constant fights with the Auditor General. She's not sorry about our electricity rates. She's not sorry that the job quality in this province is going down. I just don't think that reminds people that they're tired of being told that it's our fault about her mistakes. I don't think it goes down well at all.
So moving forward, of course, we will be watching very closely what the leaders are all saying and doing in the coming days. What do you anticipate? Andrea Horwath is getting pushed really heavily again on the road candidates, whether or not she can form a cabinet, and the big $7 billion hole in her platform. What does she need to do to move forward and cross that finish line in first place?
People do not. They will not vote for Kathleen Wynne, and they cannot vote for Doug Ford. So there's a huge group of people out there who just want a reassuring voice that we can move forward, fix some of our social programs, fix healthcare, and importantly, address the affordability of everyday life.
All right, take your partisan hat off for just 30 seconds and tell me what you believe Doug Ford needs to do moving forward.
It's tough because he's got a lot of personal negatives, and I've been very surprised that they really run on the Ford idea rather than the PC brand. The PC brand is stronger than the Ford brand, and I would look, in fact, I know what they're going to be doing this week. They're going to be moving to that and putting Doug a little bit further back and putting the team forward. So that's a smart move on their part, so we'll see how that plays out this week.
All right, well, we will see how this all plays out. Just a few days away to that finish line of June 7th. Log on to Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you think.